Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend Han here, and it is absolutely good to see you here this afternoon. And today, I'm very happy to have Vas back with us again to talk about something that I think whenever someone starts with internet marketing, they always want to have their very own online store, internet marketing store. And one of the biggest challenges it's rather difficult to set up, or you're gonna have to capture monthly fee for that. But Vas has a complete training. He's gonna take care of all that for you. He's going to show you how easy it can be done, how you can completely eliminate all the monthly fee if you're paying someone other solutions out there. So he's going to discuss about how to set up e-commerce, why e-commerce, and all kinds of excitement in here. At the end of this interview, he's going to introduce products and he come with the POR rights, all that great stuff. Actually, let him go into more detail in this interview, so you know how cool this is. All right. So before we get into all this excitement here, let's kind of learn how Vas got started with internet marketing, but most importantly, what did he do exactly to achieve a level of success that he has today? So Vas, could you kind of take over the mic, share your unique internet marketing story with us today?
Sure, Han. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for having me back on. I have shared my story before, but I'll give the viewers out there a quick recap in case they haven't seen it before. I got started with internet marketing in college. I needed a way to start making money online. I've seen people sell all sorts of stuff online. I've seen my college roommates buy a whole lot of stuff online, so I knew that there was definitely work to be done on the internet. And I started digging around, seeing what sorts of opportunities were out there, what sorts of products were being sold and bought. And I sort of started getting into these things like keyword research, search engine optimization. Bit by bit, I started kind of gaining in my knowledge and increasing the value of things that I could deliver to people. And one of the most valuable thing that I've learned from my years in college of learning internet marketing was building online stores.
Interesting. I think and when people kind of come to online, they automatically think, "Hey, I need to have an online store to make money," which is right, which is very, very correct. But most things that when you start building your own store, you're looking to some of the free solutions that's out there. It's rather difficult to learn them and understand them. Some of the training are very complicated. That's why you came out with this product. We're going to talk about this in a little bit, just a little bit. So guys, just stay tuned with the good stuff's coming later. So kind of to know what you know today, I know I asked you this question before, what would it be maybe top 3 advice you can give to someone who just started with internet marketing, or maybe just still kind of looking for things to be really, really focused on?
Sure. One piece of advice I would say is ask a lot of questions. Be curious and don't shut information out just because it seems like it's not what your intuition would tell you is the right answer. A lot of people will give you the wrong answer, so just because you're listening for all the answers out there doesn't mean you'll hear all the right ones and none of the wrong ones. You'll probably hear a lot of bad advice. Be critical of it, but still keep an open mind to it. So that's my first advice. My second advice would be to seriously look into e-commerce as a way of making money. I mean, other people out there are selling stuff online every day, right? So why couldn't you do it? And my third piece of advice would be to keep friends like you by their side. I mean, you're never going to give bad advice to one of your viewers. I've been following your show for a while. I know that you, among a very small handful of other interviewers, are doing a lot of good work to help people out there with making money online. So if I was watching this video and I've never made a penny before, if I've never, built any websites out there, if I've never started an online store, I would first of all keep an ear out for all the information out there. 2, I would have a lot more of guys like Han under my belt so that I could subscribe to your channel, get all the newest videos. A lot of your content out there is good, but there are some shady websites, and it's really good to have people like you take the care to actually interview guys like us, the product creators, and give that face-to-face interaction, put a familiar face to a product. So that's what I would say is get to know people, because there are real people behind these services and products, and they have some real value to add to you.
Right, and I just wanted to make things clear. There's a lot of people want to get on my show, and not everybody can make it. I ask them very, very critical question before I decide to interview them, because you really take a ton of time and energy to put everything together. So if they're on the shows, I 100% check them out. Okay. All right. So let's talk about. You say there's good advice. This is also some BS is out there. So how do you personally filter them out? I think that's the next level down that a lot of people want to know. They get all this information come at them, and they just don't know what is good because they don't even know what is bad. So what would it be maybe the next level advice you can give it to them?
Well, I would say use logic. If advice doesn't sound logical, then keep asking the why questions. How does it work? What does it do? Why is this important? And if among any of those steps the answers that you're getting aren't making sense, then chances are they're BSing you. And if they're not BSing you, then all of their answers will be quite logical. I'll give you an example. If you're looking for an online shop solution because you want to sell t-shirts, let's say you got a box of 100 shirts that you're selling as a fundraiser. There's an example. T-shirts for a fundraiser. How do you get 100 t-shirts into the hands of other people? Well, you got to sell them. How do you sell them? Well, there's eBay and Craigslist. Those are just two off the top of my head, but there are other options. There are other platforms. So I would say keep an open mind, but don't fall for something like, pay us $500 for a yearly fee to use our platform for a year, because you don't need a yearly fee. You only need to sell 100 t-shirts.
Okay, that's great. So let's talk about why e-commerce, especially. I want you to talk about why it's important to have your very own e-commerce. Why? I mean, there's a lot of people probably have to say, well, I can go to Yahoo set up store. I can go to eBay, have my own eBay store. I can go Amazon, have my own store. And why do you think it's very important for someone who just starting out internet marketing or has been doing it a while have their very own e-commerce store?
Well, I think that eBay and Craigslist and places like that are great starts, but ultimately they're not sustainable. So for something like 100 t-shirts, you might want to go with a eBay sort of an account. That might be sufficient for you. But if you want to do something bigger than that, if you want to keep making money week in and week out, if this is about more than 100 t-shirts, then you really need a brand. You need something that people can keep coming back to. You want to add them to your email list. You want to be able to send them email offers. You want to be able to do all of these advanced things that only an e-commerce store can do. You can't do a lot of really cool custom things with eBay. It would either be against their terms of services or privacy policy or something like that. And the last thing you want is for your reputable account on eBay to get cut off because you violated some provision in their terms of services. I've had that happen not with eBay but with other websites. I've had that happen with freelance websites as well. I would build up an account where in one of my previous interviews with you I talked about outsourcing. I would outsource a bunch of work, build a credible account, and then get slapped by the service for doing something silly like sharing my contact information over a private message function. Seems pretty basic. If I'm paying a 10% fee to this freelancing website, that I should be able to communicate with the people that I'm communicating with, but not according to their terms of services. So if you don't want to play by other people's rules, if you want to set your own rules, then you need your own e-commerce store. You need your own platform. You just can't have a sustainable thing. You can't have a scalable thing unless you have your own thing.
This is almost like Google slab or Facebook slab. And the major problem is you're not controlling that. So as a smart internet marketer, you need to be in control of your traffic, you need to control of your store, you need to be in control of your conversions. And those are three major elements you need to control. Like if someone's in control of that, if that one element is gone, and you'll get hurt. And you need
to control the content. You need to control the design. I mean, can you control the design of eBay? No, not really.
Not really. They have a standard format you gotta follow. So the better strategy, I think, is taking the eBay. If you're already marketing on eBay, if you're marketing on Amazon, all other major e-commerce sites, you can take those traffic to take those buyers, put on an email list, and send to your own store. Instead, send them back to the eBay store to all your other competitions. Because let's say we're selling a purse. There's 500 people selling the same damn purse on eBay, right?
Exactly.
So why send to all that back to eBay again? take another person, another color, another design, sign to your very own e-commerce site, so you'll keep all the traffic. Instead, they have a chance to go to your competition store looking for the same person, compare price shopping or whatever kind of customer service shopping, looking at stars. Send to your own store, because at that point they're already your customer. You already have this transactional relationship with them, so it would be a lot easier to upsell them some other items you have in your store, right? So I think at the end of the day, people don't need to be forgetting just because you have other successful platform out there on other platform, but at the end of the day, you need to have your very own store build up as well, right? Now
Absolutely.
let's kind of take this question on the flip side, which for someone who's just starting out and doesn't even know. Okay, I do know I need to have a store, but I have no clue what the heck to sell. Maybe can you give some advice on that as well?
Sure. Well, one of the greatest things about knowing how to set up an online store is that, number one, you'll know what to sell if you have nothing to sell at all.
Mm.
And number two, you'll be able to do this for other people as well. So if other people out there know that they need to sell stuff online, but they too have no idea what it is that they can sell, you are in a position to make recommendations to them because you'll know what you're talking about. Now, right now, it might all seem a little bit confusing, but hopefully the course will clear this up. To answer your original question with what to sell, you've heard of the drop shipping model before, right?
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I can teach you about drop shipping that you couldn't look up on Google. Just Google the word drop shipping, and you'll find out everything about it. But basically, you can resell other people's products for them and keep a commission cut. That way you don't have to have a warehouse, you don't have to have any inventory, you don't have to bother with shipping stuff out or worrying about the returns or refunds. It's all going from warehouse X to customer Y, and you're the store Z, and you're completely independent from that transaction other than actually keeping that fee that you make for connecting the buyer to the warehouse.
So you are just the middleman, and
Exactly.
I've actually been doing that in the past, and been an eBay power seller before. So I'm gonna share some. For those who doesn't know what dropshipping is, maybe just kind of share my experience with it, and it's part of the just one channel of a wholesaler. I mean, a wholesaler. When you retail a wholesaler, you have different levels. You have this master wholesaler who's a huge company. Then they divide the goods, of things into packages. So to the next size wholesaler. Then this wholesaler, he just
Goes down the chain.
Goes down the chain. Just keep wholesaler, and then go to retail. So in the retail business, it's really 5-6 different levels. The more you buy, the more per item cost is going to be very low. All right. So dropshipper is just one of those, I would think, a medium-sized to small-sized people. They have all these goods already stored in the warehouse. Well, they need somebody to sell one by one for them, right? They can't do all this by themselves because they're not in the business to sell one at a time. They in the business to sell pallets at a time. So the solution they come up with is called the drop shipping method. That means you are just like a salesperson, sell it for them, and as they will ship for you. They will probably actually deal with the return for you as well, I think. And but you still got to provide in the customer service to fill in the return orders, all that stuff. That's your job too. So so as someone just started with the internet market with no budget, with no money, that's the best way to start. Because think about it, if you have to invest into a storage building, paying monthly rental on that's huge. And what if your stuff cannot be sold that month? You're still gonna have to pay that sunk cost, which is not very smart the way to do business when you're starting out, because you want to test out the market first. So, and you don't pay the wholesaler any wholesale fee until the item gets sold. So you get your money, you get your cut, then you send the rest of the money to the wholesaler, then they'll ship for you. So that's what a dropship model is, and it's not something just new come out. It's been around for a while, and the key point is find the reputable wholesalers. Now I'm gonna give you out this one single website. Okay, it's called wholesalercentral.com. There's tons those, not a huge one, not the biggest one, the medium size to small size wholesaler out there does this kind of stuff. Some of them does require a minimum order of $500, $200 or $100. Make sure you got a good store in maybe your garage somewhere. And there are also drop shippers on there, and there is a drop shipper directory. You had to pay like I think $50 a year. Back the days was $60 a year to get all the directories. So the information sources are out there, and so that's what drop shipping is. So most e-commerce sites you're seeing out there, I think maybe I would say 6 out of 10 are drop shippers. They are just the middleman, and you can do the same. It's not that hard to do. It's not that hard to do, but so drop shippers' profit margin is going to be narrower than if you took all the risk, you buy all the goods and store in your warehouse, just because of the nature of the business, because they take part of the risk to store the building by big pallets. And so the more risk you take, the more profit you're going to have. So what I recommend you do is start out with a drop ship business, but if you see that particular items it's hot item is so like hotcake, actually import a pallet, import whatever your things it can be, because your profit margin is going to increase at that point. But I wouldn't go set up a store on something you think is going to sell very well. You have no idea if it can sell well. Dropshipping's best model, because remember, you don't pay them a dime, the wholesaler, a dime until the sale's been made. So if you don't make, you don't really lose anything there, especially with what Vas going to teach you. You don't even have to pay the monthly hosting fee for most shopping carts. So so just take that as in your mind. If you never know how to set up e-commerce, all that stuff. Another thing is not many people think about is you can also selling magazine subscriptions. Okay, magazine subscriptions with the e-commerce store as well. It's kind of work like wholesale industry as well. It's what they call clearinghouse. A clearinghouse is like a wholesaler for tons of different magazines. So you have to sign up as an agent, and they're going to give you one set of price. They're going to sell it to you. Then you just add your profit on top of that and to sell to the consumers. All right. So it's going to be obviously going to have to sell to what the magazine and the normal magazine people can sell for. So that's a huge industry as well. It's out there. It's called you can sell magazine subscription as well. So I've done both ways, and just want to kind of share that with you guys that e-commerce it's really how a lot of people get started with internet marketing.
Oh, absolutely. And with magazine subscriptions, you bring up another great idea, is that you don't even have to sell a physical magazine. Sometimes you can sell digital subscriptions.
Absolutely.
That way you're cutting out the entire shipping model. You don't even have to deliver a physical product. People are paying money for access to information. This has been on the rise all across the board. National newspapers are starting to cut out print. They're starting to go fully digital because people just aren't buying the traditional media types. So the newspapers are really dying out. The magazines that are still selling are probably going to be dying out in the next couple decades as well. But I do know that the magazine subscriptions are selling pretty hot right now. But yeah, you don't have to sell a physical product. It could be a digital downloadable product too.
I think the digital world changed the medium. The YouTube changed the medium, and I think the end of the story I want to say is everything's moving to digital. I mean, the news people like Washington Post are threatened to be closed, shutting down, just because why? Because you can get the news more efficient on the net now, and now they're doing the magazine subscription model. I think it's called Next Issue, or it's almost like a Netflix model. Like you pay them I think $20 a month, but you have all kinds of magazines.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's a next Flex model, and so you can, instead of paying magazine every month for $5 per month, they just charge you $20. You get like I think about 200 different magazines you can read as you go.
Wow, that's really cool. That's like what Netflix did. It's also what Spotify did with music. Instead of selling tracks for $1 each, $7.99 a month for ad-free play.
Yeah, there's two major companies doing that right now. It's actually apps on your iPad. Check it out. And I forgot the name. don't have my app with me, but I'll tell you. Yes, that's the next flex model. So they're kind of testing that out. So that's all kinds of exciting things out. But start your very own store. You can have flexibility to test. Hey, is your idea really going to work? Is people really going to buy stuff? Before you invest a lot of time, a lot of energy into it, a lot of people make that mistake. And when it comes to open business, you always want to make sure you have a proven concept before you invest all that money and time into it. And another thing you can sell is softwares. You can sell ebooks, and just go to one of those reseller rights websites. Grab a whole bunch of those reseller things and put up your own store, right?
Absolutely. And it's like this. You said that you don't want to invest a whole lot of money into an unproven market. Like you said, you wouldn't buy pallets of something if you're just getting started. It costs money that you don't have. It's an unproven market. You don't know if you're going to be able to sell all the items off the pallet. But if you're learning how to set up your own online stores, and if you're doing the drop shipping model, that means that in the course of one day, you can set up multiple stores, and you can test different markets without having to buy those pallets and without having to store them. So just like you said, yes, it is pretty stupid to just jump in and throw a bunch of money at a wholesale lot and hope to make money off of it, because you haven't done that yet. If you've done that a billion times already, then go ahead and buy that pallet. You already know how to sell it anyway. But if you're just getting started, if you're just starting to test the waters out, then you could benefit from building a bunch of different online stores and testing different markets. And if you're able to do that, then you'll see what the losers are, so you can throw those away and then focus on just the winners. Let's say you want to start an online store and become a reseller, a drop shipper for weight loss products, weight gain products, and weight loss exercise machines, right? 3 completely different products. One is for weight loss, one is for muscle building, and another is exercise equipment. So that's not even a supplement. Which one's going to sell the hottest? You know that the diet niche is hot, but you just don't know which items will actually make people click the buy button. So to see which ones are going to be added to carts, to see which ones are going to be making you the most money, you can set up multiple stores, and you still won't have to carry any inventory. So the idea is, if you learn how to build your own online stores, you're going to be able to test an infinite array of items out there. So whatever your personal interests are, whatever you might want to start selling online, you can start selling right away. I'm sure that there's a drop shipper out there on the internet for just about everything. Would you say so?
Yeah, and I think that one arena we kind of forget about is, if you're local marketers, if you're serving restaurants, if you're serving retail channels like selling clothes, bikes, shoes, and at what point they want to have their very own online store, right? So. And I to know the fact that people will pay you like almost $5,000 to $10,000 just to set up one store for you. It's just because the whole process is very, very long and tedious. But once you got the skills, you can definitely get one of those clients to let you to build a store for them.
Well, it's like you've heard of the 80-20 principle before, right? It's going to take you 20% of the time to do 80% of the work. With the course that I've come up with, I'm actually covering 100% of the work. It's just that the bulk of it takes the beginning, so the installing of the software. And then the later part of the course, the 80% of the last bit of the course, that's actually about the finesse, the fine-tuning of the look and feel, how to add products to your store, how do you make sure that the payment gateway works, things like that. All things are very important, but like you said, it's very complicated to set up. If you go into any e-commerce software out there and look at the settings, there's going to be a couple dozen menu options there to start with, and you're going to have to configure all of those options, and they're going to have to be exact, and you can't mess it up, otherwise you're not going to be making as much money as you could be. So where do you go to get all the tips on where do you go to get all the tips on how to set up your store properly? Well, you have to go to somebody who's done it before. I've done it before, I know how to do it, and I'm ready to teach anybody out there how to set up their own store, so that in about a half hour, that's right, just 30 minutes, you can set up an entire store. Just follow my course. It's over-the-shoulder video. It's step-by-step. It's very clear. There are no ums and buts in these videos. They are straightforward, directly to the point, no fluff. Here's where you got to click. Here's what you got to do, and your store will be up and running.
Right. And so let's talk about why, kind of give us a little bit backdrop of the story. Why did you decide to create this course, and talk about some of the, I guess, the pain point of existing solutions that you're facing while you were out there researching for this product?
Sure. Well, I was actually taking part in a mastermind group where we were learning about making money online, and I was introduced to the idea of e-commerce by a member of that mastermind group. There was a lot of great sharing going on in there, but one of the key points that I've learned is what we talked about earlier, the control over the entire sales process. So like we were talking about, if you're selling via eBay, you can't change the design of eBay, and that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to not only have that control, but also show others how they can have control over their businesses too. Like you said, you can get paid big bucks for doing this. So that's how I got started. It was in a mastermind group. I was motivated by somebody who's done it before, and they showed me the ropes. So now I'm just hoping to do the same for other people out there. I've learned the ropes. I've made a bunch of mistakes. I want to spell those mistakes out so that you don't make them. And I also want to show you some shortcuts to success so that you can get right to the point without having to figure things out. I've already figured it out. Just do what I've done, and you'll have your own online store in a matter of 30 minutes.
That's very, very interesting. All right, so let's just go ahead and talk about this offer then. Let's talk about the name of the product, time of the launch, and who's going to be really benefit for getting this.
Sure. The name of the product is Mart Expert. Mart Expert is going to make you an expert at building your own supermarket online. The reason I say supermarket is because I'm going to teach you how to use WooCommerce. Now, WooCommerce is a free open source software. It works with WordPress, so it's 100% free. You just have to know how to set it up and how to install it right. Now, if you go with another option would be a pre-built store. You're, number one, likely going to be charged a monthly fee. Number two, you're not going to have all the control that you could have. And number three, you're going to have a limitation on how many products you can list. For example, have you ever heard of Shopify before?
Yeah.
Shopify has a monthly fee and lets you do all the things that you can do yourself, except they're hosting it for you. So why have it hosted on somebody else's servers when you can have full control over it? That way you can, again, scale your business. You can start multiple online stores and test out different niches. You can also do it for your customers who will pay you big bucks to do it.
Right. So who do you think is going to be really, really benefit for getting this?
I think offline marketers will benefit a lot from this. I think that internet marketers will benefit a lot from this. If you're helping businesses that are offline, you can come up to restaurants, dry cleaners, I don't know, any type of business you can think of that might be having their clientele on the internet, looking them up on Google. Those people are going to be making a ton of money off this product. You're going to learn how to make stores for high-paying customers. That's very valuable. So online marketers, offline marketers, also affiliate marketers. If you're already building blogs, for example, if you're building review websites, if you are doing any sort of affiliate marketing or any kind of marketing at all, you can supplement that marketing with your own online store. If you have an online store, you're going to look professional, you're going to create a brand for yourself, you're going to get money in the door as fast as possible. I don't know if there's any faster way to start making a lot of money than building your own brand and making money using the reputation that you've built up over time. So right. Online marketers, offline marketers, affiliate marketers, anybody who has any sort of ideas that they think the community out there might find valuable, those people will benefit the most.
All right, one last question I forgot to ask you is, let's say someone already have an authority blog or affiliate blog out there. How easy or how hard it is to integrate a WooCommerce store to existing website or WordPress website?
It's super easy, and you don't even need to have a WordPress site to begin with. So if your WordPress is based on an entirely different platform that has nothing to do with WordPress, you can still set up a WordPress site and link it from your original website. Let's say your website is hanfon.com. You can have store.hanfon.com and have people buy it from there.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't matter what kind of a store or website you have or don't have. You can get your own online store. I'll teach you how to add products to it, how to make it look just the way you want it to look, make it prim and proper so that your customers can start spending money on it right away.
What's the advantage to have WooCommerce versus other e-commerce solutions that's out there?
Sure, if you're working with any other e-commerce solution out there that is not WooCommerce, then you're not benefiting from the open source nature of the product.
Mm.
How do you benefit from something that's open source? Well, you take advantage of all the code that the community writes for that product. We've seen that with WordPress time and time again. There's a constant battle between hackers, the good ones and the bad ones. And when the bad hackers are finding a new exploit that can hack WordPress websites, WordPress will come out with an update, and they'll come out with it pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear about all these huge hacking stories, typically they have to do with some sort of a private company, be it Java or Microsoft or Adobe or something like that. It's not an open source company. But an open source software like WooCommerce, it's able to repel those attacks much better because it has the community working together on this open source platform. The more people working on it together, the faster they spot the issues, the quicker they're able to fix them. So that's something you're not able to get from a company that only has 50 to 100 people working for it.
Mm.
With WooCommerce, you're able to leverage the entire world for your benefit.
And I think the obvious benefit is also it's free, right?
That's what open source means by definition. Absolutely. Free.
So,
There's no monthly fees. There's no annual fees. There's no setup fees. You're going to be able to do it all yourself, even if you don't know how.
okay. All right. So let's talk about what exactly is inside the front end offer, and how long are you going to keep this offer open? What is the starting up price?
This is going to be an evergreen offer. It's going to be sold for $7. That's all. And for $7, I'm also including full resale rights to this video course. I mentioned earlier how there are no ums or buts or anything like that in these video courses. It's straight up content all the way through. No fluff, no bluff information. Straight to your screen off my screen. And you're able to actually put your name on my videos so that you can resell those videos as your own training. That's the nature of the PLR license. Some people call it white label rights, others call it master resale rights. Well, I'm giving you full developer's rights to these videos because they're unbranded, which means you can put your own name on it, you can put your own URL on it, your own contact information on it. You can resell these videos for, I don't know, $100 or so to local businesses. The ones that might not have $10,000 to build an online store. Maybe they have $100 to buy your video training. With this video training, you're going to not only learn how to build online stores, but you're also going to be able to teach others how to do this. And that's the true value, is that you get the content and you also get the rights to share it. And you don't get that with a lot of products out there. I mean, I didn't have to give the resale rights to this. I don't particularly like seeing my courses being resold for $17, $27, and so when I'm selling it for $7, but I know a lot of people out there do it and they're making money, so if that makes them happy, then I'm happy.
All right, cool. So, and let's talk about the OTOs.
Sure. My first OTO is going to be the deluxe version of Mart Expert. Here, let me load up a page and I'll send you a link to it where I explain all of the details. So basically, Mart Expert Deluxe will come with 3 additional softwares that will help you optimize your WordPress setup with WooCommerce. Specifically, I'll be giving away the WP Sales Bar plugin that I have released a short while ago. The WP Sales Bar plugin is a bar that goes up at the top of your website, and there you'll be able to have your own message where you can have some sort of a call to action. For example, click here to get a 10% discount, or click here to be added to our VIP list, or something like that. So whenever they land on your webpage, they'll know what the main offer is right there, and if they click on the X symbol on the right-hand side of the bar, then it'll close and they won't see it again. The bar sets a cookie on your visitor's computer, telling the visitor that they've closed the bar and they don't want to see it again. So WP Sales Bar is the first part of the OTO. The second software that I'll be offering with OTO number 1 is an unreleased software called WooFill. WooFill is a software that works with WooCommerce, and it automatically fills in most of the address fields for the visitors based on their IP address. Let's say you live on 1234 Main Street in New York. Well, if you're on the website that has this plugin installed, you'll type in 123, and then the Google algorithm that's built into the software will guess the rest of your address by the house number and by your IP address. So it's pretty cool, because what it does is it allows your customers to finish their transaction much faster. Instead of typing out their full street name, then the second street name, then the city, then the zip, then all the typical information that you have on the checkout page, this plugin pre-fills it out for them. There will be suggestions just like you see with Google recommendations. If you start typing something into google.com, Google will pop up with things that it thinks you're going to type in. Well, that's what this plugin does for WooCommerce. So it's pretty exciting. All of that is part of OTO number 1. There is one more product that I haven't mentioned, and that product will have to remain a surprise, but I promise you that once you see it, you're going to want to get this OTO. Okay? And that's pretty much it for OTO number 1, and that's going to be $17.
Okay.
I have 2 more OTOs, and I'll briefly go over those as well. The second OTO is a traffic generation offer that's going to be sold at $27, and this is something that you're going to want to get if you are buying this course for yourself or for your customers who will need traffic. If you don't know where to get traffic, if you have absolutely no idea how to get buyers on your page, then this is the OTO that you're going to want to get. And then the last and final OTO is going to be called Mart Expert VIP. Now, I've mentioned before in this interview that I was actually part of a mastermind group that turned me on to e-commerce. And as part of the front-end offer for $7, I'll give you access to a basic mastermind group that every buyer of Mart Expert gets, so that you can take part in a community full of other e-commerce businessmen, people who want to build their own stores, people who may have built them before or maybe have never built them before. You're going to join that basic group with the $7 offer on the front end. Now, the VIP mastermind group is going to cost between $97 and $197. It's going to be on a sliding scale. Okay, we're only letting in 100 members. Once we hit the 100th sale, the mastermind group is going to be closed off, and no more people will be allowed in. We have to do this for quality control, because I personally will be spreading myself too thin if I'll be offering it to more than 100 people. But basically, in this mastermind group, we'll be able to get any of your questions answered. It's like the additional hand-holding bonus that other products simply don't include. In addition to the basic support that you get with the front-end offer, you'll also get that additional one-on-one attention, plus the benefit of enjoying the company of other VIP members who've also joined, who also need the help, and who are also willing to share their expertise. So with the front end, you get the software, and with the OTOs, you're getting the most value out of this product by getting tools that can help you optimize your store to its maximum capacity, and by joining a community of like-minded individuals, which means you get more than just products. You become a part of something bigger than yourself.
Awesome, awesome. So is that all the OTO you have?
Yes, those are the 3 OTOs that are going to be available immediately after the front-end offer.
Okay, great, great. So that's about all the questions I need to ask you here today. But I've got one last question that's very important. Is as people listen to this interview, they know how important it is to have their very own store, whether it is set up as a separate website or just add to the existing website. It's very important to have that brand have a full control of what they're selling, right? And the cell phone, that's what makes stuff up. That's why we needed testing and get the high conversions. And
right.
and they want to have this. But my question to you is, what makes your course, your product, so unique that you absolutely buy it? Because everyone has that negative voice on the back of their head telling them not to buy it, not taking action. So my question to you, Vas, is what makes this product so unique so they should absolutely grab that at launching time?
Well, if you've heard everything that I've explained in today's interview, then the one thing you'll want to know is that it comes with a full 100% money back guarantee, so even if you don't like it, you can have your money back. But the most important thing to take away is that with courses like this one out there, there's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of unnecessary information that you just don't need. A lot of times people presenting an installation video, an over-the-shoulder video like the one that I'm offering here, they'll go off on a tangent talking about things that they have experienced or things that they wish they had done. There's none of that here. This is a legit step-by-step procedure. It's like a surgery manual. If you wanted to do heart surgery, you wouldn't want to know the opinion of the author of the book. You'd want to know how to do heart surgery. You'd want to know the steps that you have to do to perform a procedure. Because this is a very technical thing, there's absolutely no reason to go off on emotional tangents. So I wanted to deliver that straight content, like I said, no fluff, no bluff information, something that you can refer to back, 10 years into the future and it'll still be relevant. Now, technologies evolve all the time. There will be new software out there in 10 years. There will be new ways to sell things over the internet. But if you absolutely have to grasp the basics of e-commerce, then this is the course that you should get. The software that it entails is absolutely free. There's nothing to buy to get started. There are absolutely no monthly fees to pay for. And there's no reason to relinquish that control that you're relinquishing when you are using these other tools. If you are using eBay, you're literally leaving functionality on the table that you could be using for yourself. Custom logos, custom headers, custom banners, custom design, custom menus and navigation things, and all the little details that you really want to have full control over, you can only have full control over if you get this course.
Absolutely, absolutely. And guys, just remember, the most important thing you need to have in your business is your customer database. By having your store on those eBays and Amazons, you lose that because they don't give it to you. You got to find another way to build them out. But if you have your very own store, when they sign up account on your own website, guess what you have? You have your very own customer database. Because that's not just the short-term profit because they're going to buy from your website, but also your long-term business growth, right? So just keep that in mind because your most important asset in your business is your customer database or your email list as well. So
Absolutely.
Just keep that in mind. So with his solutions, I think if you have a pretty hand of e-commerce and you have your customer database, you might this is with only $7. This is definitely no-brainers investment, right, to your financial future here. So anyway, Vas, thank you so much for spending your time with us. Before we leave here today, do you have any final words of wisdom you'd like to share?
Sure. If you get there early, if you get there 4 hours before the launch at 11 a.m. Eastern on this Friday, the 23rd, you'll get a social discount. You'll actually get $3 off the $7 purchase price as long as you get there in the first 4 hours before the sale. So the sale starts on Friday, May 23rd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you get there between the hours of 7 and 11 a.m., 4 hours before the launch, you'll get it for $4 instead of $7. Talk about savings, right? That's almost 50% off the already super low $7 price, right?
Right.
Get there early. Those are my words of wisdom.
Okay. All right. So, guys, and thank you if you stay with us, thank you so much for watching this, and make sure you stay tuned while I watch a very short demo video, and so you know exactly how it works and what kind of and he's gonna give me a demo site he's gonna build right after the interview in about 20 minutes or so, and I'm gonna have that link, and I'm gonna have my review on my review page tomorrow, so you can check it out. And he's going to show you exactly how he's done that, how easily you can do it too. All right. So on that note, Vas, thank you so much for being with us again, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon.
Han, as soon as I hit hang up on this Hangout, I am going to go ahead and build that store for you, and I'm going to send you that link over so that you and your viewers can see exactly what they're going to be able to get themselves without having to pay some guy like me, $10,000 to build it for them. You could be that guy that gets charged, that gets paid, thousands of dollars for doing this. Why be the guy who gets charged to do it,
All right, thank you so much, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon.
Take care, Han. Bye-bye.
Cheers.